Here we go. This was my opponent. If you go to the channel, you will know that that is the video that's running right now. Ruy Lopez. Are we going to enter that again? No. I'm going to do something else. Enough of that opening. So, let's try this. What will black throw at me here? Okay. Now, big decision time for black. Grunfeld? No. King's Indian instead. E4. F3. Bishop E3. Queen D2. Knight E2. I'm going to do this to watch over G4. Bishop here. D4. If it doesn't have your attention, it should. As both white and black. Black should be looking to strike at this structure in some way, and it's going to be one of these two guys to do just that. So there we go. I want to be in a position to recapture with my knight, not my bishop. If I recapture my bishop, it's accessible to a knight deployment to C6, and then I have to react. He's a very, very important minor piece to hang on to. And I don't want to have to be reacting to knight threats against the dark square bishop. That was the reason for F3, and you could also say that was the reason for the timely knight G to E2 move. So now what? Actually, let me play here. Protect my bishop. This is going to deter black from playing queen to B6. Now that he's protected, my knight is free to move with like knight F5 stuff. Queen here is just not a good idea at all. So more development needed. This is a big dummy right here. So far just doing a whole lot of staring at his own pawns. And right now my first thought is what? Actually, believe it or not, my first thought was that C6 is weakened. I see what black is ready to do. Develop to B7. But it weakens this square, and I believe that an ensuing knight move here, well, a white knight on D5 here is intolerable. And so after an eventual capture, I'm able to recapture and maybe start to pivot on this C6 square. And that is something that really has a lot of my attention right now, because I may want to play rook C1 and delay castling just so I could emphasize this weak point C6. I'm seeing something that might be accessible to me. Rook C1, bishop B7, knight here. Knight takes, pawn takes. Actually, it would just get challenged real quick, would it not? Well, okay, there's no rush with that, but my rook is going to be playing to C1, and I'm not so sure which one belongs there. I'm going to go with this one. There might be something opening up on this D file, and my F rook might want to play here or something. Like if E6 and pawn push, my rook is going to be well placed there. I really don't want to be playing this move, so let's go with this move instead. Knight takes. I capture towards the center unless I have a good reason not to. I do not have a good reason not to. C takes, D5. And then what else? C6. I might want to actually run this pawn up to B5 and then plant a piece right on that C6 square. And once there, it's going to stay there for a long while and be a tremendous thorn to these heavy pieces, the rooks, the queen. So I think even if both rooks are off the board, that's actually something that would be pretty good. Let's go with this. Knight takes, pawn takes. I'm looking for B5 and then C6. What's going to get done? Is E6 going to be played? No, it's not. No, it's not happening. Should I avoid exchange? I might want to do that. I don't want too much to get simplified. Yeah, let's. I'm gonna avoid that. what's making me run with this is just seeing that I have a space advantage. I have a pawn in the center on one of these 4 squares specifically, and my opponent does not. So could I actually still run with this move? I'm going to run with it. Now maybe there's even like a knight position here or something, and my other knight here, and then get to c6. There's no way to really double. Okay, now we got this going on. Okay, this is going to be brutal, I think. Even with both heavy pieces off the board, a knight planting on c6 is going to be an absolute killer. Okay, my opponent's taking this into account, apparently. I can't support it, really, so let's give it up. d6, maybe. I could target d6. Tight game here. Huh. I think h3 to meet like a pawn push with like pushing the knights away. Huh. I'm down on time too here, so knight d4. Oh boy. What do you do here? What do you do? What do you do? Oh no, yeah. Do I really want to do that one? No. I dropped that pawn. Oh, I'm getting really nervous here. What about bishop here? That's kind of stupid. Maybe it's not. Might not be stupid. Or bishop here. Bishop here. Bishop here. Yeah, this is exceptional right here. Not like an exceptional move, but this is a great exception to it's not typical, I don't think. I'm looking to actually just give my bishop up even if that bishop is still around. I'm seeing that my knight on c6 will maybe be better than the bishop on e5. That's why I'm running with this line, but well, crap. I gotta watch out because the bishop's gonna kill me right here. Oh, I missed that one. Who gets the last laugh? Is my opponent laughing? Let's do this. It's a little scary over here because this pawn is going to go down in flames at any moment. He's going to be cooked. Although I'm ready to maybe do this move. 44 ticks. Less than a minute for Party Rocker. f4. Kill the bishop. Kill the knight. Knight d4. Knight c6. Pre-move that. Oh, I almost mouse slipped. That would have been bad news. Watch out for those mouse slips. I want my knight to get here, and then everything's going to be nice and cozy. I think. Knight right here. Is queen g7 going to be played or something? I think I'll play f4. Yeah, and then I'll take the knight. And then my rook or my knight. I really want my knight to get here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm going to do it. It's scary, but I'm going to do it. Bishop check and then take the rook? I think my king would much rather be here. Let's recapture. It's definitely scary. Look at this dummy right here. My light square bishop is the big dummy. I gotta pre-move that. 37 seconds. My opponent better kick it into higher gear. Less than a minute. What do you do? What do you do? What do you do when you're not coordinated? Oh, that's just a flat-out blunder. Oops. Uh-oh. Time pressure get the best of black there or what? Pressure? The pressure was mounting. But what a tight game. Whoa. Good game. Let me back up here. Let's have a look at this one and see how either one of us could have done one better. So let's see. Good game, I agree. No doubt. Let's see, backing up. So, King's Indian setup, huh? So far, so, book. This is, I wonder about the b6 move. Maybe I could have been doing some other stuff. Well, no. Well, like when b6 is played, I already have, like, again, I was focused on c6 a great deal, and the piece never quite got there, but it really influenced things in this game. This weakness on c6, it really made black think again about chopping this knight once it played to d5. So I wonder if just a bishop move to d7 or even to e6, seeing how if I capture, you recapture, you're getting a couple things. Half open f-file and control over d5, which means this knight is not going to have a good post. So I think considering one of these two, I think bishop e6 might be the way to go here. Or at least something to be looking into. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't able to really do that. I mean, my opponent was being stubborn with the capture on d5. Maybe I was, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I'm not sure. I didn't want too many pieces to be exchanged because I wanted to have more pieces on the board and have a piece on that square, but it just wasn't happening, was it? Take. I recapture. I think e6 is a good move. Now that my knight is a bit displaced now, I'd really be liking to have him on d4 at this very moment. It's just not working though. I do that now, I'm losing a pawn. And before I could really get to this square, this is the other thing. Now that I'm capturing away, I don't have as much of a grip on c6. My opponent has a half-open f-file. And this knight, I can't kick it away so easily, right? f4, not only dropping the pawn, but there's even knight g4 possibilities. That was the intent I had with this earlier f3 move, to just watch over g4. So if I'm pushing it, I'm making that available yet again. I think this was a very good game by black here. This bishop move. Well, maybe my bishop idea was not the right thing to do, but I am concerned right now about just a break in the center. This guy didn't do anything. I mean, he ended up winning, getting the queen at the end, but other than just serving a defensive role, he's really not doing a whole lot. I'd much rather have him on like b3 pointing at the king right now. But things blew up here, didn't they? And I think the knight move, I wonder if queen here and then like some sack on this square and then queen coming out to h4 or something is a good idea. I don't know, but it was definitely a really good game. Very interesting. A lot of resistance put up by black, recognizing the strong points. Not capturing on d5, I think, showed a pretty good understanding of that pawn structure right there and what exactly was going on. So great, very good.